and Kitty, I'm glad you touched on that because I wanted to add one more thing to your signs of insecurity, and that's not having a backbone.
Mm-hmm.
Women, if you feel like you cannot offer your own opinion, when that man asks you, babe, what do you think about this car we're gonna buy? And if you just agreeing with him, then you don't have a backbone. If you're gonna plan something out there, and he says, oh, I want to go to this movie, and then you really want to see another movie, but then you agree with his movie, then you really don't have a backbone.
Exactly.
You are your own person, and it's okay to have your opinion in that relationship.
And another thing, ladies, let's stop bringing the baggage that you had from the last relationship
You done touched on it.
into this new relationship. Did I touch on
You
somebody's
done touched on it.
I done stomped the mud hole out of somebody's toe tonight.
You done
Can I
touched
get a
on it.
witness out there? Because it's the truth.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
You know, just because Billy Bob, you know, was a cheater, all men don't cheat.
That's right.
We as women, we need to accept and realize that there are good men out there. Every man that is in the world is not out trying to get with the next woman.
That's right.
You know, there are good men out there. We need to make sure that we acknowledge that. And ladies, let me tell you something. We make the men the way that they are.
Exactly.
Because a man he can only do what you let him do to you.
Exactly.
You know, and a lot of these women out here, you know, y'all need to stop y'all mess too. You know, you're flirting and you see the man got somebody and yet you still flirting and doing all this stuff trying to get him.
Okay.
You know, so we make these men like that ourselves.
We do.
You know, we accept too much. We just take anything. Right. And then you wonder why, you know, you're so insecure. You've done it all the time. And, you know, what do you expect? He's going to treat you the way, you know, you let him treat.
That's right. That's right. If you put your foot down at the beginning of the relationship and just let that man know, this is how I want to be treated. If they want to be with you, then they're going to follow it.
Exactly. And they're going to realize, man, this is a confident woman. A man wants to know. Women, don't be afraid. We're so afraid to just let a man know what we want up front, you know. And men, you know, let's just, before we even get into these relationships, so that you don't even have to go through all of these insecurities. You know, you discuss when you meet somebody, you say, okay, what do you want? Are you really looking for a relationship? Right. You know, are you just wanting to go on a date? You know,
or friends with benefits.
Friends with benefits. Or do we, and a lot of times we just, you know, we go into the relationship or the situation, I should say, and we have the intimacy first, and then after the fact, we're wondering, okay, well, baby, you know, what's next? And that man is like, you was just a hit and run.
Hit and quit it.
Hit it and quit it.
Okay.
So we need to go ahead and establish these relationships before we get into them. We need to see what we want in a relationship. You need to let that man know what you're looking for. And men, if you're not looking for the same thing, you go on. You move on to the next.
That's right.
To the next person.
One of the main reasons, Kitty, that so many relationships end, it's not because of cheating.
Mm-hmm.
It's because that either one of those people in the relationship is abusive or overly jealous, which is rooted in insecurity.
It is. And we were reading about a man that was doing a lot of things. You know, this man had planned to do a party for his girlfriend, and she was just snooping and listening on his conversations, and we so quick to jump to conclusions. Right. She didn't realize that this man was doing something nice for her, and it had happened several times. He was done with the relationship. She blew up on him. She didn't know what was going on. She didn't have the full information. She didn't have the information, rather, before she just blew up, you know. And women, if you are insecure about something, let your man know, baby, I don't feel comfortable when you go somewhere and you don't check in. You know, I don't hear from you for hours, or, you know, you may come in at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't hear from you.
Right, you're worried. Right.
Sometimes we're just worried about
Exactly. And, you know, we just want to sum it up and say that, women, love and respect yourself first before you jump into these relationships, and take responsibility for the choices that you make.
And the rest will follow.
That's right.
And you have to be, careful about what you pick, because you won't pick them.
That's right.
If you knew that man was, the way he was, you can't change him.
That's right.
We're too busy trying to change people, and then we get in a relationship, we see we can't change them, and then that's where that insecurity comes in. That's where that jealousy comes in.
That's right. Well, Kitty, I think we've given them a lot of information.
We have given you guys a lot of information, and I hope that you will be able to walk away from this show and do something different, women. And make sure that you feel good about yourself. Let it come from the inside. And trust me, when you're secure, it will show on the outside.
Exactly. And if you have some comments or any questions, please hit us up on realcomplicatedonline.com.